Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's Richie from Boston. Today's the 15th of October. It's 2018. And it is a gray day here in Boston, Massachusetts. I'm right beside Fenway Park. The sky is gray and ugly. But that is our reality. Try to tell people about chemtrailing, and instead of listening to an asshole with a laptop that's shown them all the patents, that's shown them all the articles, that's shown them all the people that straight up say that, yes, we're geoengineering the sky, because Fenway to my left, Harvard to my right, came out last year and said, we are going to start spraying the sky to reflect the sun's light back into outer space to save us all from climate change. Why did Harvard come out and say that when we know damn well they've already been doing this since at least the 𝗦𝗵𝗿𝗄𝗎 Trail? That's as far as I dare go back. Because they knew they were going to pick up their geoengineering so exponentially that they better put out a predictive programming piece of propaganda. Look, that isn't normal. The skies used to be blue. The sun used to be yellow. Clouds used to be fluffy and cotton-like. Unless, of course, a weather front was moving through. A thunderstorm, snow, whatever. But it would pass. And then there would be a rainbow in the sky. That is no longer the case. It is always cloudy and overcast, and yet there's very rarely any precipitation or associated weather that you would find in a normal paradigm. We are no longer in a normal paradigm, but I digress. Okay. A lot of really large, well-respected channels have been covering transhumanism lately, and I'm happy to see it. Melissa and Aaron Dykes sent me a copy of their movie, The Minds of Men, several months ago. It's a 4-hour-long movie that explains everything as far as transhumanism. What is transhumanism, Richie from Boston? I don't know what that means. Transhumanism is a meme being put forth by the mad scientists that brought us things like, well, I don't know, the Federal Reserve, to start with. Nuclear weapons, world wars. You see where I'm going with this? The same people that have brought nothing but despair, hate, and death to the world in mass production style are bringing forth artificial intelligence. And through this meme of artificial intelligence, they are telling us that they will be able to take us, our minds or souls, and incorporate them into the machines. So I will no longer be a meat bag covered with tattoos and scars and really lame facial hair. I will be inside of a computer or probably inside of a robot. When I say I don't mean me. I'm far too poor, and probably you too, to be one of these people. But they're talking about us, the singularity, about us being integrated. We'll never die. We'll live on eternally because our minds, our thoughts, our emotions will be uploaded into hardware that can be maintained and will be perpetual. Why am I talking about transhumanism? Why am I talking about chemtrails in the same video? Because I believe the sharp uptick, the fact that Harvard came out and said they're going to spray the sky, I think they all play together. Look back at the patents, look back at the news articles, look back at all the stuff that people have made videos about in the past that nobody really talks about anymore. But nanoparticulates, self-replicating nanoparticulates that could be inhaled, ingested, or absorbed transdermally or through your skin. The uptick is not only cooling the planet off, but it's also introducing far more nanoparticulate heavy metals into the atmosphere, which we are all breathing in. Who knows how many C-130s or how many Stratofortresses are flying over us right now? Because here in the Northeast, we can't even see them. Who knows how many airplanes are flying over us instead of dumping their usual batch of barium, strontium, aluminum, depleted red blood cells, lithium, coal ash, sulfuric acid. Besides that, how many times have they dumped megatons of self-replicating nanobots that we've all ingested? In the video, Melissa's talking about at some point people are going to have to make a choice whether they want to move on to this integrated computer reality where we become one with the machines, where we take the neural lace into the jugular vein that we told you about several years ago. Take a needle, shoot it into your jugular vein, and insert the neural lace, which like a spider web wraps around your brain and allows you to become one with the computer. For all intents and purposes, you have a thin layer like saran wrap wrapped around your brain that allows you to become your cell phone, a computer, or worse yet, exactly like I've posed dozens of times, you could be controlled like a robot. Who knows if we're not already ingesting that stuff? Why else would Harvard come out in 2017 and say, hey, even though chemtrails aren't real, even though we wouldn't be spraying stuff out of the back of the airplanes, even though we're not trying to mess with the weather, we're going to mess with the weather, we're going to spray stuff out of the back of the airplanes, and we're going to do exactly what wacky conspiracy theorists have been accusing us for a decade now. We are going to do that. Why would they say it now when they've been denying it forever? And apparently it's working well because nobody else is in their car right now talking to a cell phone, trying to warn people about what's right in front of us. But I digress. It appears that the singularity is upon us much sooner than originally anticipated. Ray Kurzweil said a long time ago that 2045, I believe, if memory serves. See, if I had a computer wrapped around my brain, I'd be able to bring that information right up. Why else do you think that they have made sure that technology is the hottest thing? Why is it that people want cell phones? Why is it that people don't even know how to read a map anymore or how to make something without looking at their cell phone? How is it people can't think of an answer to anything without looking at their cell phone? How is it people don't know their friends and families and wives and husbands' cell phone number without looking at their cell phone? Not only did it dumb you down, but it strung us out like research monkeys on technology. They have incorporated technology to the point where children don't play outside, people don't talk to each other at dinner, nobody cares about anything. Half the people who are driving aren't actually having their phone in a tripod up here. They're looking right at it, and driving is secondary. I've shown you the patents that go back to the 50s and 60s. They have been studying frequencies, flicker rates, colors, how using televisions, which are a relatively new invention, they didn't always exist, 1940s-ish, they figured out how to use this technology to trick the human mind into being in a trance-like or a mind control state. Why do you think so many kids were having seizures because of cartoons and such? Those cartoons were beta tests to see if they could effectively control humanity. And unfortunately, some people had adverse reactions to it. You see what I'm saying? I'm doing this with no script. Isn't that amazing? It amazes me sometimes. But I keep it all bottled up. I don't talk to other humans usually. I observe. That's pretty much it. At any rate, they have been working on this since time immemorial. When Melissa from True Stream Media mentions in her latest video on transhumanism, which is phenomenal, it lays it all right out there, but I think it misses a few things. I'm not judging or criticizing. I'm just saying that they need to come around a little bit more. But again, I'll get back to that. We've got patents that go back to the 50s and 60s that show that they have been working on how to mind control people. They're not trying to figure out how to make things better, how to open your brain up so you use more of it. All they want to know is how to control it the most effective mass control manner humanly possible, and I believe they are there. Why do I say that? Because in 2017, Harvard came out and said, yes, we're spraying the skies. And people still don't believe it. It amazes me. Harvard University, the exact guy we've been telling you about for like 10 years, Dr. David Keith, came out and said, we're going to spray the sky out of airplanes, nanoparticulates, block out the sun, blah, blah, blah. And people still don't believe that, even though they've admitted it. That's mind control. That's predictive programming. That's putting suggestions, comments, memes in movies, videos, video games, music, etc., newscasts, to make people doubt what they know to be true. Okay. What do I think Melissa missed in her video? God, creation, and the Bible. She does reach back to Genesis 3, and I get it. I understand it. Aaron and Melissa are phenomenal researchers, probably a couple of the best in the business, period. And they don't want to go the biblical route, because once you tell people you believe in God, you get trolled like you signed up to be trolled. I don't even know how to explain it. Once I told people openly I was a Christian, I've had trolls that have been attacking me since day one for the same nonsensical bullshit over and over. It is what it is. But when you really research all this stuff, you can't help but understand that there is an evil entity on this earth that owns this earth, Satan, and they are trying to take away free will. They are trying to control us exactly like the Bible warns. AI isn't a bunch of transistors and such that are working like a regular analog computer. AI is opening a doorway into another dimension that will allow other dimensional beings to come through and control us physically. We're surrounded right now by demons. We're surrounded right now by angels. But we do not, there's a veil between us. The AI computers will allow that veil to be opened so they can interact full-time with us. Geordie Rose has laid it out perfectly, saying it will be a tsunami of demons, and demons isn't even a strong enough word. Elon Musk, I've been telling you about this for years. Elon warned us that they are opening a Pandora's box, Baphomet, so forth and so on. This stuff is real. This stuff is happening, and it's heating up like we thought we had more time. It turns out we do not. If they can control everybody's minds, why do we need another world war? Because they have to pay the price for the technology that they've received that's going to kill and enslave them, yet they don't seem to see it. War is a sacrifice to the same fallen angels that gave us this technology in the first place. When you receive this type of information, power, whatever it may be from fallen angels, they demand a ritual sacrifice on a mass scale. I believe Iran and all the soldiers involved in this whole thing that's going to happen will be that sacrifice. Richie from Boston. Traffic's moving. I gotta go. I'm out.